So this is just another day of camp. Just got off the high holy days, the Passover, the Sabbath. So I'm just back out here with another camp. This camp, when you get off those high holy days, the spirit is on you because the next thing that you're waiting for is prophecy to be fulfilled. And what you're waiting for is America to be destroyed. So, of course, being in that spirit, I was going into some research, of how ancient Rome felt, because America is Rome all over again. I was watching a little video I seen, I can't pronounce his name, but he's the leader over there in the Israeli country. And he was saying, look, we're the new Rome, which America and they allies make up Rome all over again. But I see some of the similarities in how America's going to fall, which was some of the same similarities of how ancient Rome fell, So this is what I'm going. I got a little article right here. Let me speak up. Got this little article right here that goes into 8 reasons. Now you can get into the Bible, you can get into the Apocrypha and stuff like that, but this goes like a little bit more in detail. I'm not going to go through it all. This is an article that was on the History Channel. So, sometimes we watch the History Channel to study and stuff like that, to match up, facts. This 8 reasons why Rome fell. It says, 1, invasion by barbarian tribes. So I'm going to read the 8 reasons and then go through the ones that stuck out. It says, economic troubles and over-reliance on slave labor. It says, the rise of the Eastern Empire. Over-expansion and military overspending. Government corruption and political instability. Which is all the same thing that American, which is Mystery Babylon, which is Rome all over again, is experienced right now. The arrival of Huns and the migration of the barbarian tribes. It says Christianity and the loss of traditional values. It says weakening of the Roman legions. So this is 8 reasons why the Roman Empire fell. America is Rome all over again. That's why you go downtown, you go to your Capitol building, it's Roman architect. You go to your dollar, you look on your money, it's all Roman stuff on there. It all traces back to Rome, because America is Rome all over again, and America is going to fall the same way Rome did. So one of the 8 reasons why Rome fell that stuck out was economic troubles and over-reliance on slave labor, which we see today. They're having very economic troubles. That's why you have a stimulus pack. That's why you have government benefits. So just like ancient Rome fell because of economical troubles, America's going to fall because of economical troubles. It's the same thing. This is Rome all over again. Another one that stuck out was the rise of the Eastern Empire. So now we got a rise of not an Eastern Empire, Eastern Empire. What? We have the rise of China now. So just like ancient Rome fell because the rise of Eastern Empire, today we have the same thing. We have the rise of China. Where America's a nation of consumers, but then you have China over there. We buy all their stuff and they get rich off of it, and they're rising because of that. And they're becoming a stronger nation already than America, and they're standing up against them. And that's causing trouble for America. That's why we're in a trade war right now. So it's the same thing. You see the similarities. Here's another one. Over-expansion and military overspending. So you see over-expansion. America has the most military bases around the world than any other country. They're over-expanding their stuff. They're spending their stuff too thin, just like ancient Rome did. And military overspending. We pay all these taxes. Here it is. And the most we can get back on the stimulus check is $1,200, $1,400. Petty money. Why? Because they giving all that money to their military. When Trump was in office, they came with what? The Space Force. How much money is it going to cost to build a Space Force to fight against the war once he returns? You gotta think about that. So it's the same thing as ancient Rome. Here's another one. Government corruption and political instability. So we got government corruption today. That's why you have riots in every single city doing the whole George Floyd thing, because it's government corruption, man. People are tired of it. They go to trial, they get off. That's government corruption and political instability. That's Luke chapter 11. If the kingdom be divided, how shall it stand? So you got, instead of 50%, you got the Democrats. It's split 50%. If the kingdom be divided, how shall it stand? So you got political instability, just like ancient Rome. You got all these same things today. So it's showing you the similarities. And the last one was Christianity and the loss of traditional values. Right? The Christianity tells you that you can sin, you don't have to follow the law, statutes, commandments, you can do whatever you want. And then what do you get from that? Well, you get a little Nas X. That's what you get from that. You get all the values that build a country strong, a civilization strong. You get all those values thrown out, and then the civilization gets weak. So that's what we're having today. You can do whatever you want. Nobody has tradition. The tradition of building a family is off the door, you know? That don't even exist no more. So then that makes the economy weak, that makes the nation weak, and therefore the nation falls. Just like ancient Rome fell, Mystery Babylon, which is America, is going to fall too. But the thing is, with Mystery Babylon, the big difference is it's going to be destroyed with nuclear fire by missiles and nukes. Does say the Bible. So let's bring out some scriptures and then I'll get back into that article more in detail. This is Habakkuk 2. Because remember, one of the things said over expansion and overspending, right? Habakkuk 2 verse 1. I will stand on my watch. I will set me upon my tower and will watch to see what he was saying to me and what I should answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon the tables, that he may run that readeth it. So the Lord making these visions plain upon the tables. That's why I could go Google what happened to ancient Rome and have it match up with what's happening to America, Mystery Babylon today. It says, for the vision is yet for a appointed time, but the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come and will not tarry. Things like the mark of the beast, they didn't really have understanding of what it was back then, but we can understand it today because it's speaking for a appointed time. And the same thing with the mark of the beast is going to be the fall of America, Mystery Babylon. So America fall in that prophecy is speaking during these times. That's why we can see all these things. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Esau's soul is not upright in him. It says, yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keep it at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heap unto him all people. Isn't that over expansion? Isn't that overspending? Because you got, in order for you to spend, you have to spend so much. And over expansion, you heap as all people to yourself. You know, it says, who neither keepeth at home enlarges his desire as hell. So they came over here to America, took the land from our Native American brothers, which are Israelites. That's over expansion. That's not keeping at home. They went to Europe, took all that land. You know, they went to different parts of the world. They just keep expanding and expanding by setting up their democracy. You might have a nation that still goes by their name, but really America is running it. Why? By setting up democracy over there. That's what's happening in Venezuela right now. In Venezuela, you got America trying to set up a puppet government so they can run stuff over there under disguise. So that all plays a part into their over-expansion and keeping out home. It says, shall not all these take up a proverb against him, an atonement proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increased him that which is not his. How did they get America? They increased in that which was not theirs. Then when they got over here to America, they made peace treaties with the Indians. They reneged on those and came back and went to war and killed them, genocide, you know, and took the land. So they increased in that which was not theirs. But it says, woe to them, meaning that there is a punishment that the Lord still requires. There is a punishment coming for that. They don't think it is, but during these end times, you see all hell break loose. And this is only the beginning. The economy is on shaky legs right now. So you can see it happening, so people are starting to get afraid. It says, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? To him that letteth himself in thick clay. It says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite me in a lake? That shall vex me. And the point is, vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. The point is, you know, we read in Daniel, I believe it's the 7th chapter. It might be Daniel chapter 2, but it speaks about Rome was the iron. It was the strong iron mixed with wax clay. Why? Because the other nations, their allies are weaker, but America's strong. So America is likened to the iron. The other nations, like the EU nations, NATO and stuff like that, is the clay. But what happens when you mix iron with clay? You know, it collapses. It destroys itself. You know, so these other nations are the clay, but they're going to rise up against America, turn on America, and they're going to destroy it. Right now, you have China and Iran making their alliance even stronger. You got Russia and Iran making their alliance even stronger. Iran and Russia and China, North Korea, all saying, look, we not going to trade with the petrodollar anymore. We're going to stand up and do our own thing. We're stronger than you. You know? You got the Brexit, the British exit, right? You got different EU nations ready to exit their alliance with America, and they're all going to turn. Something's going to happen where they're going to turn on this place, and they're going to shoot nuclear missiles on this place, and people are going to be destroyed, man. It says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of thy people shall spoil thee, because of man's blood for the violence of the land, the city, and all that dwell therein. Woe to him that cometh an evil covenant to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. So we know they cut off the Native Americans by genocide. They cut off us through slavery. The Mexicans speak Spanish because they were conquered by the Spaniards. So they cut off many people. It says, for the stone shall cry out the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establish a city with iniquity. So wasn't America built off blood? Wasn't it established off iniquity? Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establish a city with iniquity. Wasn't the genocide of American Indians, the Native Americans, wasn't that how America was built? Off blood, right? Off genocide, off iniquity. Let's read that there. So that's what we're seeing, right? Here, this is, see, that breaks it down. Perfect, man. That's just the spirit. This is Job chapter 5. Let me see where I wanted at. This is Job chapter 5. I'll start verse 10. Who giveth rain upon the earth, and sendeth waters upon the field, to set up the high those that be low, that those which mourn may be exalted to safety. And that's what's going to happen for the Israelites. But here, let me jump to... Nope, that's not what I wanted to hear. This is Job chapter 20. It says, verse 19. Because he has oppressed and has forsaken the poor, because he has violently taken away a house which he buildeth not. That's a precept. How was America established? How was America created? It was he violently took away a house which he buildeth not. He came over here, committed genocide, went to war, killed the Native Americans. Then you had a thing called the transatlantic slave trade, where you had all the different nations that was on the islands. You had the so-called Negroes. And this is how they violently took away America, which he buildeth not. It says, surely he should not feel quietness in his belly. He should not save of that which he desired. There should none of his meat be left. Therefore should no man look for his goods. And you see that happening right now with the trade, with the trade wars, you know, and the economy being weakened. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked should come upon him. So even his own nations that he's in alliance with, that are also wicked, they're going to come up against him. upon him while he's eating. So when they're about to get right to that pinnacle of fulfilling the new world order that they're trying to go with, digital everything, you know, the internet of all things, you know, AI technology, the mark of the beast, the microchip. It says when he's about to fill his belly, God should cast the fury of his wrath upon him. It says he shall flee from the iron weapon. What's the iron weapon? That's talking about those nuclear weapons, those missiles. It says, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn and coming out the body, yet the glittering sword coming out of the gale. Terrors are upon him. It's a lot of sight. It's kind of windy, really windy today, you know. And terrors are upon him. Why? Because when those nuclear weapons come out, they come out glittery, right? So they come out the silos. They, in the sky, they look like glittery swords, you know? Why? What does the sword do? Well, it inflicts damage. So when these things hit their target, they inflict damage. You know, they pierce things through, they blow up. So that's what's going to happen to him when he's about to fill his belly, you know? Here, let me get this out the Apocrypha real quick. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. See, there it goes again, talking about that sword again, you know, and their destruction draweth nigh. It says, for one people shall stand up and fight against another. It's swords in their hands. We see that, right, with all the riots, the sedition among men in America, which is about to go down even more. You know, right now, you got that cop that killed George Floyd, he's on trial. We're going to see how that end up, you know, but if it doesn't end up the right way, then there's going to be a lot more riots. You see the defunding of the police, so when all hell breaks loose, it's going to be like purge on the street. You ain't going to have nobody to call 911, you know. It says, for there should be sedition, no, it says, yeah, for there should be sedition among men, which we've seen that in all 48 states, really all around the world, man. It says, invading one another, they should not regard their kings nor their princes in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. They're not going to regard their governors, their presidents, their congressmen, and those people in power. Who do they use to get things done? Their police force. So people are not going to regard that. People are going to invade one another when all hell breaks loose, man. Desire to go into a city and should not be able. They're gonna shut down the cities. You can't get in this city unless you got the jab, right? Unless you got the jab. I can't say that word because YouTube will take me down. Unless you get the jab, you can't go into a city, right? It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and man shall be afraid, right? So because of their pride, these cities are going to be destroyed, you know? The houses should be destroyed, and man should be afraid. Hey, sis, do you know that we're the Israelites in the Bible? She turned her head, you know. Hey, look, Scripture talks about that. It says our people are stiff-necked. They don't want to hear the words of the Lord, you know. So when you reach out and you say, hey, sis, you know, but if I was a white man out here trying to bring out the Bible talking about Christianity, she would have came up and wanted to listen to it, you know. Look, she ain't want to hear the word. All I said was, hey sister, do you know our people are the Israelites of the Bible? Before I can even get the words out, she turned her head. Here, let me touch on that right quick and then get back to program. You know, but guess what? When all hell break loose, when there's a famine of the word, they gonna come out here and they gonna wish that they had this truth. This is Zechariah. This is why we out here. We out here for them. We out here for them, right? But if I had some money, y'all, and I said, hey sister, you want some money? Hey sister, I got a job opportunity for you. They all ears. But when you trying to bring out the word of the Lord, they don't want to hear it, right? Zechariah chapter 7, verse 11. But they refused to hearken and pulled away their shoulders. So she looked. I said, hey sister. She pulled away her shoulders, right? And stopped their ears that they should not hear. You know, she got the headphones in, kind of turned them up. She don't want to hear that. It says, yeah, they made their hearts as adamant stone, lest they should hear the law and the words which the Lord of hosts has sent in the spirit by the former prophets. And what are we reading? We reading the book of the former prophets, right? It says, therefore came a great wrath from the Lord of hosts. Therefore it come to pass that as he cried, they will not hear. So they cried, and I will not hear, saith the Lord of hosts. So the Lord tried to cry out. So when they crying, the Lord ain't going to hear it, man, because they not trying to hear the Lord. What? I mean, hey, let me get back to program. Where was I at? Sometimes, stuff like that will throw you off. We did Job 20. We used to second address. But second address is breaking down all that hell that's going to break loose, right? And it says, for because of their pride, their city should be troubled. The house should be destroyed, and man should be afraid. Letting these police that kill innocent men go off free. That's pride, right? It says, a man should have no pity upon his neighbor, but should destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread. We already see the famine coming. The whole pandemic and stuff is causing a famine. It says, for great tribulation. This is going to be great tribulation. Behold, say God, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and livingness, to turn themselves one against another, and to repay the things that they have done to them. And this is also how the Lord is going to bring all the nations to reverence him. This is how he's going to do it. Precept upon precept, right? That's how you break down the Bible. That's how you understand it. You should be able to go through New Testament, Old Testament, all off the top of the head, right? This is Revelation chapter 6, verse 12. I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell upon the earth. Those stars of heaven are talking about the nukes, talking about missiles. When they go up in the sky, they look like stars. When they come down, they do damage, right? Even as a fig tree casting her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind, the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out the place. So what's the heavens being departed as a scroll? That's the mushroom cloud that you get when a nuclear weapon or missile comes down. It says, and the kings of the earth, your president, your congressmen, your governors, the kings of the earth, right? And the great man, and the rich man, and the chief captains, and the mighty man, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. What's the dens and the rocks of the mountains? They're bunkers. So every man wanted to hide himself in the bunkers once these nuclear weapons started to be shot off into the ends of the earth. Especially here in Mystery Babylon in America, when people see those nuclear weapons coming, what are they going to do? They're going to try to run to bunkers. So it says, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. So this is thus say the Bible. This ain't my words. This is the Bible. It says, and said to the mountains and the rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. So is the Lord coming back, to give out hugs, to give out hot five, a hot five up top? No, the Lord is coming back with wrath. So why is the Lord coming back with wrath then? Because this place is wicked. You see how it all adds up? So when the Lord comes back, look, they gonna want to hide from the Lord because it's gonna be all hell on earth. It says, for the great day of his wrath is come. Who should be able to stand? So you can be as tough as you want to. But when that great day comes, who's going to be able to stand up against it? Who's going to be able to stop it from happening? Nobody. So that's how the Lord is going to ravish all these kings. Spiritual. This is Daniel chapter 2, verse 44. It says, in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom. So we know the kingdom of heaven, right? The Lord is going to set up his kingdom. But what is he going to do in order to set up his kingdom? It says, which should never be destroyed. And the kingdom should not be left to other people. It's for the Israelites only. It's not left to other people. This is from the Bible. It says, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. So America is going to break in pieces and consume America. China is going to break in pieces and consume China. Russia is going to break in pieces and consume Russia. Europe, all those nations over there is going to break in pieces, every single one of them. Iran, North Korea, South Korea, Japan. It don't matter if it's a kingdom on earth. The Lord's kingdom is going to break it into pieces, meaning it's going to destroy it, and it's going to consume it. And then the Lord's kingdom is going to be set up. Why? Because this world is wicked right now. Let's jump back to the regular program. This is Psalms chapter 2. Because I don't know why the heathen be raged, man. They don't know that this place is about to be destroyed, but they happy because everything's being opened back up. Right. This is Psalms chapter 2. It says, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine vain things? America gonna last forever. Man, that's a vain thing. Nothing has lasted forever. You had Egypt, did that last forever? No. You had the Persians. No, you had Babylon. Did that last forever? No. You had Persian and Medes. Did they last forever? They kingdom? No. You had the Greek with Alexander the Greek. Did that last forever? No. And these were kingdoms that was the greatest that the earth had ever seen at those times. You had the Romans. Did they last forever? No. But America is Rome all over again. Now it says the kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord, saying and against his anointed. They gonna fight against the Lord when he comes back. That's why you got the Space Force. They set themselves together to come up against the Lord, man. And wickedness. You got the Space Force because once the Lord comes back, they're going to be set up in their space to try to fight against the Lord. That's where you get the movie Independence Day. But they not going to win, though. You know, the Bible tells us that. It says, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in heaven shall laugh. So he going to laugh when they try to come up against him. The Lord shall have them in derision. Why? The Lord got better technology. Yeah, they got their jets, they fighter jets, they nuclear weapons, but they still can't match the so-called UFOs. Whenever they come into a encounter with these UFOs, they say, man, it was moving so fast, it turned on a dime. It was able to go to the speed of sound without breaking the sound barrier. How was it able to do that? I just seen that they just seen one. They had one on some type of channel, and they was bringing it out, and they said that it was able to go. It went 600 miles. It went 0 to 600 miles per hour in 1 second. It went 600 miles in 1 second. Here we is. We can't even get a car to go 0 to 60 in 1 second, and this chariot went 0 to 600 in 1 second. Crazy, man. It says, then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and max them with sword to pleasures. I have set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. So the Lord is choosing Zion, which is Israel. That's who he set his king upon. But he's going to have the other nations in derision, man. Psalms chapter 3. Lord, how are they increased that trouble me? Many are they that rise up against me. So we do this work. We know that, you know, hell, things are going to get so horrible in America that they're going to blame it on us. They're going to say it's because of them. They're going to make up reason to call us terrorists, false flag attacks, to try to come up against the man of the Lord, right? So they're going to increase against us, even our own people, just like during the time of Yahushua, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Our own people came up against him with Pilate, you know, and the Roman soldiers and stuff. They came up against the Lord, you know, together. So our own people are going to come up against us because they wicked. They want to be here. They still believe in the, you know, the American dream, and this place is about to be destroyed. It says, many there be which save my soul. There is no help for him in God. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory, and the lifter up of my head. I cried unto the Lord with my voice, and he heard me out of his holy hill. Remember, those who listen to the Lord will listen to us when we need help. But when the Lord is crying out and you don't want to hear, and you ain't hearing the cry of the Lord, Lord, then the Lord ain't gonna hear you when you cry. It says, I laid me down and slept and awake, for the Lord sustained me. I would not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. We ain't gonna be afraid when all hell break loose, when there's sedition among men, when there's invading in the houses, when there's war out here, man killing man with the sword, man dying of famine. You know, when those martial law troops are on the street, we ain't gonna be afraid. You know, it says, arise, O Lord, save me, O God, for thou hast smitten all my enemies upon the cheekbone. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. Salvation belongeth unto the Lord. Thy blessing is upon thy people, the Lord's people, and salvation is for the Lord's people, man. Here, let me jump to Psalms chapter 10. Psalm chapter 10, verse 1. It says, why standest thou on fore, O Lord? Why hidest thyself in the time of trouble? The wicked in his pride does persecute the poor. You know, this is why we're mad, you know? It says, let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. You know, the new world order that they imagine, the mark of the beast, which is the microchip that they imagine. You know, taking everything to a new digital currency. You know, tracking everybody, putting everybody back in slavery that they have imagined. Let them be taken, right? It says, for the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous who the Lord apart. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after God. God is not in all his ways. His ways are always grievous. The judgments are far above out of his sight. For all of his enemies he puffeth up at. He has said in his heart, I should not be moved. I should never be an adversary. America said, I ain't gonna never be taken out. America gonna last forever. They say they ain't gonna never be moved, but this place gonna be destroyed, man. With the missiles from the Lord. It said, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. That's all you see when you turn on the news. It says he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. What's the lurking places of the villages? It's the ghettos. He sit in the ghettos, right? And in secret places does he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth to catch the poor. He does catch the poor when he draws into his net. So he set up traps. You got the war on drugs, which is all just a trap. They bring the drugs in. Our people are poor. We take the drugs to try to sell it to get something, to get somewhere in life. And then they sit back as a trap and they set you up. They got the PPP loans, or people are scamming trying to make money off that. That's all the trap, so they can come and set you up and throw you in jail. You know, you pop your woman, then your woman go put you on child support. You try to get married in this society, and then when you get divorced, she takes everything because they set the woman on a pedestal over the man to try to get the woman to be. Those are all traps, man. And our people still fall for them to this day. That's why the Lord say, come up out of her. We got to come up out of this place and start following the Lord. We can't follow the philosophies of America no more because this place is wicked. So we got to follow the Lord, the law, statutes, and commandments in the Bible, man. Here, let me jump back to, I want to bring this out one more time. This place is going to be destroyed, man. This is Daniel chapter 2 again. So I'm running back. When the Lord come back, he coming back to destroy this place. Daniel chapter 2, verse 44. In the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up the kingdom of heaven, right? It says, which shall never be destroyed. The kingdom should not be left to other people, because the kingdom is for the Israelites, which are the so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics descent. There's a 12 tribe chart. We are the true Israelites, right? We fit the curses that would be upon the Israelites to identify who the Israelites are. It says, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms. So America, Russia, China is all kingdoms. When the Lord come back to set up his kingdom, he gonna break in pieces all these kingdoms. It does say the Bible. It says, and it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms and stand forever. So when the Lord come back, is he gonna come and shake hands with the American president and say, okay, y'all can continue doing what y'all do? No, he coming back to destroy this place. And he gonna set up his kingdom. He destroying it because the world, why is he coming back to destroy this place? If it was a righteous place, the Lord would come back and destroy it, right? So he's coming back to destroy it because it's a wicked place. How did they get this place, man? Here, I'm gonna run it back. This is thus say the Bible. This is how they got this place right here. It says, this is Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not